Good morning. I've decided I'm going to try cheer myself up by starting to make one of the doors in the basement. It's one of the ones that lets all the kind of weather and wind through, so closing that up would be a good thing. It's a little bit complicated, because the first thing to do is the frame, and the frame has got to fit in all this wonky kind of stone work, so these are a bit in and out to fit the frame in. I've drawn the square frame within the wonky hole, so kind of the idea is I'll cut this square frame which fits in the hole, and there's obviously going to be gaps and stuff at the side where the stonework goes in and out. There's not much I can do about that. I don't want to cut a square hole within that stonework. So I'll fit the square frame, and then I'll cut in some bits of trim that exactly follow the stone and hopefully hide all that detail. Let's see how we go. With a bit of work, this is what we're left with. It's smaller and wider because it's going to carry the arch of the top of the frame. I won't keep going on about it, but the long bits are a lot harder to process like this and get it dead level. But you know what, it's not bad. And I tested it and it's super dry and stable. It's like 5-6%, which if you don't know what that means, if you're cutting like wood for fire and it's got to be dry, you know, for like a log burner or something, you're looking at like 13-15% moisture content. Then for internal joinery, you're looking about 8 or 9 is ideal. So to have 5 or 6, actually, that's one good thing that's going for it. Actually, little or no knots. Okay. First ever arch cut. Don't fluff it up. Alright, we've got the 3 bits cut, processed, planed, straight, and I've marked out for the arch. Problem is, how am I cutting that? Good morning again. Well, I was up here late last night till about 10:30 trying to work out how to cut this arch with what I've got. And this is kind of how far I got. Got all the frame nice, and I got the rough cut of the arch in. But to do the final line, I think I just haven't got the stuff here to do it. It needs to be on a bandsaw really. I tried with a router and all different things. We have got a bandsaw coming from Axminster, hopefully in a few weeks. So maybe we'll just have to wait for that. Which does annoy me to say, because it's not really what this channel's about, you know. I'm meant to do the thing, you're meant to say it can't be done, and I go hold my beer and watch this. It does annoy me. You know what? Let's try one more time. So let's try this. I could take the size of the wood down by 10mm to 45mm from 55. That would leave me enough space in the frame to cut the profile of the doors. The door profile is about 32mm, so they'd fit in there nicely with the little lip. Then with the extra thickness that I've lost, I could then cut the arch with the jigsaw very, very carefully with a fresh blade, and hopefully get the final arch with just a little bit of sanding. Doorway. Obviously I've got to take these sides down to the same thickness. It's a perfect arc underneath, and the top is a little bit wobbly because that's got to fit in with all the other brickwork, which is a bit wobbly. See? Told you it could be done. fitting. Ooh, ooh. That is pretty good. I don't want to say I'm clever, but I've scribed a little bit of wood in just to hide that joint. Oh yeah, little bead of silicone on that. You can see the problem I was trying to hide here, the fact that the square wood is sat against this wonky wall and there's all these gaps. Now with a scribed bit of wood, that gap's closed right up and we can just silicone a little bead next to the wall there. It's a lot of work, but the door frame hopefully will be the most complicated bit because the door inside is a lot squarer, a lot easier to cut. Does mean if I take this route, I've got 4 of these to cut for each door, and I've got to work out something along the top of the arch that hides that joint as well. It's got to ideally be flexible. So work them few details out, but it feels different already. Just having a bit of wood down here, having something that's nice and straight and finished with all the walls done, it's a glimpse of what's to come. Well, it's been a weird old few days and I haven't shown much in the videos, but kind of just knocked me back, the whole wood thing, and just, I don't know. Sometimes you just get stuck on things and just can't get that, motivation to go forward. But seeing this come together has really just pushed me forward because I've been waiting for so long to make something, get the wood and just make something and put it in. And we've not been at that stage to even think about putting it in, never mind having the oak and stuff on site. So yeah, seeing this come together is going to be really cool. Hopefully some of the cutters for the doors will arrive in a few days. That means I can kind of finish that off, move on to some other things, get some wood prepped, and then hopefully when the cutters come, I can start making the door that's going to fit in there. Everything's going to be kind of like the same style, so it's going to be like panelled at the bottom, glass at the top, so even if all the doors are shut, we've still got light coming in, which is super important for this basement. Anyway, you just heard me whinge and moan all vlog. You don't want to hear any more. I'll see you tomorrow.